Okay, so today we got Office Elephant here. It's been quite a while since I've seen you, like, I don't know, 10 years or something. Uh, what's your deal again? He falls on things. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. So you just kind of nervously look around and then fall over. So I guess before we get going, if you would just do me a favor, make sure you fall that way and not this way, and everything should be fantastic. So let's get this show. Morning, everybody. My name is Curtis, and here we go again. So 1,000 years ago, I made a little short animation, and as well as put them in some comic strips. But yeah, this is the office elephant, the elephant who kind of has a job, wears a little hat, and usually stands next to a briefcase, and then falls over. In spite of the fact that his center of gravity is still so clearly low that there's no reason for him to fall over, but usually at the peak of something else ready to fall over, he falls over, and that's the joke. So today, Elephant is here, and good morning, Ripley. What you got on tap for us today? I'm honestly a little bit nervous that this thing's gonna fall over on me at any point in time whatsoever. So even looking over at you is really making me nervous about what's happening right over here. So I'm gonna go to this camera. Hey Ripley, I know you can still see me here. How was your week? What? Yeah. Yeah, no, this is a lot like the Speed movie where at any second, this bus is gonna explode, i.e. fall on top of me, and that's something I have to deal with. But what are you saying? You've done the math. Yeah, that's not a unit of measure. If this elephant's nervousness reaches 55%, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. He's gonna fall over if. Yeah. All right, so this episode really is just like Speed. We got to get it over. We got to jump that bridge before this thing falls and crushes me to death. To death. Yeah, that's what happens. If you get crushed by a cartoon, Ripley, what happens? Yeah, you die in real life. That's just how it works. Matrix rules apply for most things. Today, however, is all about inspiration. A long time ago, when I was in college, like first year, I don't remember which, but there was a guy who had a kid, and he was like, hey, my kid likes to draw. Can you draw a picture for my kid? Like, okay, sure. I'm just a nerd in college. This has nothing to do with anything. You're just getting a drawing from some strange person that kind of knows your family. But okay, here you go. And I think I gave him a crappy Batman drawing that just wasn't any good, and then felt bad about it. Maybe this is somebody else, but I eventually pulled one of my, I'm going to say my best pages out of my sketchbook from high school. So I literally gave him a page of my high school sketchbook. Here you go. Enjoy that, little kid. See you never. See you never. Because who cares? Nothing ever comes of anything like that. And now, like I said, 1,000 years later, I get a message of this kid that's like, hey, do you remember me? Like, yeah, I have an idea of who you are. Jordan, was it? So anyway, he was like, well, you did this drawing for me 1,000,000 years ago. Like, yeah, I remember that much of it. But what, you want me to do some more for you? Like, you're fancy rich guy now, maybe? And he's like, no, not that I actually asked that. But he said, hey, I've carried this page with me pretty much my whole life. And it's one of my art inspirations that I use to help me convince myself to go out into the world and make some money with my own art. Like, you what now? You pay your bills? You make a life with art some of the time and your own art? Like, yes, cool. We can go follow him on Instagram if you want. But yeah, he carried this page around. And Ripley, I think we can find a copy of it. He sent it to me and it was like this. And I'm like, oh, that one. That's from high school. This is insane. I kind of hate this drawing now. I did it, and then I did an oil painting of it, which I eventually painted over. But looking back at it, I'm just like, oh, wow. Like, the feet just aren't planted. I didn't know about that stuff yet. Everything is kind of hanging there. It's not, not that I do a super way better job now, but it's not as great as it could be. And he says, hey, I'm going to get this tattooed on my arm. Like, you're going to what now? Like, just making sure you're cool with that. Like, yeah, of course, that's amazing to be permanently etched on somebody's body, even if it is a drawing from high school. Still amazing. That's amazing. And then what felt like 10 minutes later, I'm sure it was weeks, he sends me a video. I think there is more video that I'll throw up if I find it, but he sends me a few videos of, hey, look at that. There it is. He just like, here you go. That's about the size of my arm. Let's just do that. Let's do what? What? I thought it was gonna be like, hey, I hid it in there amongst some other tattoos. Like, I don't know, here's the cast of The Lion King and Jumanji and the Ghost Rider, and then snuck in the back, like, here's the weird little dragon thing. Nope. This is the dragon thing. All right, so that's your arm now. That's your arm now. Basically, I've designed your arm. Enjoy your arm from now on. And that's a thing that happens in the world. You go out, you do things, you don't even realize a lot, but you're inspiring somebody, whether you care or not. I believe the secret behind the scenes story to that story is I did the first drawing, or maybe I never did give him that first drawing, but I know I did the one, and I'm like, this isn't good enough to give anybody. And my friend was like, what do you care? It's just some random kid, kind of. You don't care. The kid's gonna get it. It's probably just his dad is like, oh, you do that thing, and the kid will just, it'll be gone. Like, it'll be destroyed within a week anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like, you're right. I shouldn't care. Let's try not caring. And the gears just don't work in that direction a lot of the time. So I cared. I had to care. And 4, 3, 2, 1, Care Bear stare. I drew this dragon, and now it's there. So that's one of those things. I've talked on other episodes about many of my specific inspirations, all kinds of stuff like that. And, we've gone through the David Bowie and the Rob Zombie things that they say, where it's like, if you want to do the art, just do the art. Why would you don't get into this stuff just to hire somebody or become a company? Like, make the things if you want to make the things. But another way I get inspired is simply by just things happening. And a lot of times I find myself like making a little, and a lot of artists do this. It's just like, here's a little comic strip of a thing that happened today, and it's quick and it's easy, and it goes away. And the other day I was like, I don't want to deal with the weather. I just don't want to deal with the weather. But I got to shovel out some of this back way a little bit. But first, I'm going to have to get the shovels from inside the barn. And in order to get into the barn, I got to unlock the lock. In order to unlock the lock, I got to use a little key. In order to use the little key, I have to decide whether or not I'm going to take my gloves off. Now, at this point, it's like sleeting, snowing, raining, winding, whatever. It's just like, if I take my glove off, then that's it. My hand is wet. It goes back on. It's wet inside the glove when I do the shoveling, and nothing works here. It does not compute. There is no logical answer. It's a Kobayashi Maru. You can't win at this. And I just kept thinking of just the fact that I'm like, how do I get my keys out of my pocket? How do I use the key with this lock that's like wedged behind the thing? There's just too many little intricate details that don't work with gloves. The only thing I can think is, other than getting some sort of $9,000 isotoner skin tight magic sweat wicking gloves, which I don't think really exist. I don't know. So through that, I decided, oh, here's the comic strip for today, and I got it at hand and turned it into a cartoon. Ripley, cut to that, because I'm running out of words to say. And we're back. And that's about it for this week. Try my best to keep these things short. and trying to survive in a world where there's we're reaching critical mass here. The closer I get to the end, the more that I know that this is. I know how this ends. I know we all know how this ends. I've already established the only thing that Elephant does is fall on things and look nervous. And this is it. He's running out of time. There's nothing else we can do. So you got to be good. You got to be careful. And hey, share, subscribe, word of mouth, and maybe a bribe. We do what we can to YouTube and survive. Don't forget, no such thing as grownups.com. There's a store, there's a place to buy things, and then we're running out of time.